Yes, my name is David Keys, and I am a trial lawyer in Westlock, Alberta. You need to look at the situation and say, these are the facts. This is the story that's being told. That's step one. Step two is you look at what is the rule. Explain what the rule is to your understanding. Then step three is you put those two things together and say, this is how the rule applies to the situation. And this is the outcome that should be decided because of that. Often in law, you'll have a lawyer on one side of it who's saying, this is how it should go. And the other side is saying, no, I think this is how it should go. And they're both saying, this is the situation, this is how the law is, and this is how I believe it should apply. And one time, and in the adversarial system, one person will pit themselves against another because there's equal law that could suggest the outcome that favors their client. So, and it gets to very fine points, which means that there's often not a right answer, but somebody at the end will make a decision. It's simply up to you as the presenter to present a case as well as you can. And this applies to, my job as a lawyer, but it also applies to any other situation that you may find yourself in, whether, for example, you're presenting yourself in a job interview. You're selling yourself in that case to somebody who wants to buy into you working for them. It may be as in the job interview where you're the boss and you're deciding whether or not. So these skills will apply in different contexts at different phases of your life. And it's really just important to say, this is the fact, this is the rule, this is how it applies, and this is how the decision should be moving forward from that. So let's talk about telltale heart. For example, in a legal context, you're looking at whether or not the person understands. You're maybe doing a few different legal tests with the narrator of Telltale Heart to decide if he's insane. You might be looking at first, is he fit to stand trial? Would he even understand what's going on in a trial? So that would be a certain legal test that would have to be conducted. Then you would have to decide whether or not he could make a plea of insanity, whether or not, or automatism. There's a famous case, for instance, of somebody who committed a murder, but the issue was they were sleepwalking when they did it. So can you really assign a criminal blame to someone in those circumstances where they really didn't have control of their ability to do something? In some cases, it's theoretically admitted impossible by the Supreme Court in Canada, for instance, that someone could be intoxicated enough to commit a crime, but it's theoretically possible because the law doesn't like that idea of, oh, well, I'll just drink and then I can do whatever I want. So there's a very high test to do that. And likewise here with Telltale Heart, clearly this man has a mental illness, so maybe that's not even the issue. The issue is, what's the line that you get to where you could say, well, this guy should not be held criminally responsible, but maybe he should go to if he doesn't cross the line into criminal territory, then we're saying over here, well, he should probably be in a mental hospital or institutionalized. Something has to be done, but do we treat him as a crazy person that really doesn't know right from wrong, that really shouldn't be assigned that criminal blame? Or do we treat him as somebody that, no, you know what, you can be mentally ill and still go to jail because you did something wrong? So there's that idea too that you may not be playing with a full deck, but maybe you're still not so far gone that you're in a mental hospital. You're still a criminal, and we'll treat you like a criminal and put you in a jail because you killed somebody. Maybe you'd want to look at this, for example, from the idea of a mother. What if you're the mom of the person who was murdered? You'd probably want this person to go to jail. If you were the mom of the person that did it, you might want to say, no, this person deserves care and attention. They don't deserve a jail cell. Looking at it from those two different perspectives, you can see how a lawyer might make two very different arguments depending on who hired him first. And neither argument would be wrong, but the idea is that you put these arguments forward in that adversarial context to really bring forward to a judge the best perspectives to make a decision. That's ultimately what you're trying to do, is you're trying to flesh out what's really going on here and tell the story from one side in a persuasive way that a decision maker will say, okay, I need to decide it this way, I'm compelled to do that, and this side has given me the bridge that I want to take. I wish you well on this assignment. May you make a compelling case for whichever side you pick. Oftentimes there's no right side. It's the idea that both sides need to be considered by the person making the ultimate choice and the decision on it. So really the hardest job in all this would be the job of a judge. One side has the easy job of just saying, well, here's my client's position, I'll advance that, and same with the other side. The really hard job comes with, well, I need to pick at the end of the day which side I need to follow. So you can appreciate that maybe the job of being the persuader is the easy one. And at the end of the day, with Telltale Heart, you're looking at, something has to be done. This man killed somebody. That's admitted, I think. He made a full confession. So at the end of the day, you'd be looking at, should he be punished as a criminal, or should he be treated and cared for as a mentally ill person and a person that ought not to be assigned criminal responsibility? So that's the harder question. Is it more like the sleepwalking case, or is it more like somebody that's mentally ill but really is a dangerous psychopath that needs to be treated as a criminal? That's the hard part that you're looking at here, and that's where you'll really just need to make a pitch to the decision maker. I don't like to wish people good luck, because then that applies that maybe you need chance in order to win. I like the French version of it, which says bon courage, which just means good courage. Bon courage.